Now, we've been closely following the case of the movie The Interview, which will not be released in theaters now. Today, our film critic Pierce Conran joins me today to talk about the industry's perspective. Welcome back, Pierce. So let's first start with a brief introduction about the film for those who haven't been following the news.
Sure. Well, I think you'd have to be hiding under a rock at this point not to have heard about this news. But yeah, The Interview is a new Hollywood comedy from Sony Pictures. It stars James Franco and Seth Rogen as a TV show host and his producer who are going to go to North Korea to have an interview of Kim Jong-un in a bit to boost their ratings. But while they're on their trip, the CIA kindly asked them if they would assassinate the leader while they're there. So, this is written by Seth Rogen and his writing partner Evan Goldberg. They both directed This Is the End from last year, as well as wrote the previous comedies SUPERBAD and PINEAPPLE EXPRESS.
And this whole situation began with a massive cyber attack, of course, on the producer Sony Pictures in November, correct?
Absolutely. On November 24th, a group calling themselves or identifying themselves as the Guardians of Peace, they hacked Sony and they just got tons of information. They got social security numbers, medical records, personal emails, and all manner of information, sensitive information that has steadily been leaked to the press in the days since.
And the entertainment industry was almost in a panic mode because they weren't sure what was going to come out, and the emails that they've sent thinking that they were all private is now no longer private.
Absolutely. So a lot of people were just very, very nervous about the kind of information that would leak. People have been really kind of freaking out, I guess. And nothing that has come out has been really all that incendiary, but a lot of kind of squabbles between producers and kind of, trash talking certain stars and egos, and this is stuff that you know is happening, but we kind of see it. So perhaps a few relationships have been damaged, but no serious damage has been done. Although there was a racial exchange between Amy Pascal, who is one of the heads of Sony, and a producer called Scott Rudin, and those dealt with President Obama, and that led them to kind of issuing apologies. But also more serious is the fact that other employees in the organization have had their personal information leaked. And that has now led to 3 civil action suits that Sony has to deal with now.
But Sony originally was going to go ahead with their original release date, which was Christmas Day, but the serious threats made by the hackers mentioning the 9/11 attacks, that really did it for Sony, I guess.
Absolutely. So yeah, earlier this week, the hackers kind of expressed a very explicit statement saying that if you show the film, there will be repercussions. And we're talking about a terrorist attack that will be in the vein of 9/11. And those are huge words. And there's been no indication that there's any sort of a threat like this is actually brewing, but the major exhibitors stood down very quickly, and once they were gone, Sony was kind of compelled to cancel the release of the film. Now, there were kind of talks of doing a premium VOD, so as to say, a video-on-demand release, but Sony quickly quelled talks of that, so now there is absolutely no plan of release for the film.
So what is the significance of this situation in terms of the film industry?
Well, it's a really huge deal because, I mean, obviously freedom of speech is a big dialogue in America and has been for a very long time. It's a huge part of it. It's a founding element of the Constitution. But, and the film industry is kind of at the forefront of that. So it's a lot of kind of freedom of expression. And here we have a major film that's just been shut down by a group of people who just don't like it. Or if that is a true story, who knows exactly what's going on. But it's a really dangerous precedent. And to think that if this can happen, you can have a racist group can shut down a film starring black people, or jihadists could shut down any kind of a film because it's American. So if this can happen, what the floodgates open, and who knows what else could happen. So it's a very kind of dark time, and it could have some pretty major ramifications. But we'll see what happens.
And you did mention that the exhibitors weren't really willing to screen the film, but literally no one was really wanting or willing to screen the film?
Well, all the major exhibitors backed down very quickly. I'm sure their legal teams advised them to do so very fast. But some smaller distributors were willing to show the film. One in particular is called Draft House Cinemas. They started out in Texas, and they're a very kind of interesting company. They were going to show the interview, and when that was canceled, they said, well, we'll show Team America World Police instead, which is a film from 2004 by the makers of South Park, which features Kim Jong-un in a very kind of ludicrous way. But even then, Paramount Pictures, who owns the rights to that film, said, sorry, you can't show the film. Again, because they're worried about these attacks.
So why do you think Sony is unwilling to screen the film at this point?
Well, I mean, there's a few kind of theories bandied about that. Some people say it's kind of the interest of the public. You know, is it going to be too dangerous to show the film? I don't believe that's what they think. But some people say that they're just have literally said that they're cowardly, which I think is a silly thing to say. But and people have kind of said about this freedom of speech thing, and that I can't really speak to. The reason that they're not showing the film, in my opinion, and from what other people have said as well, is really just a legal one, because they've already spent all the money they're going to spend on the film. The film is shot, it's made, the marketing is pretty much all done. It's a week away from the release. But where they do stand to lose money is if they get sued. If anything happens, you know, if some nutcase does something that is unrelated to the actual hackers, but it can be attributed to that, insurance will not cover anything. This has now been deemed a terrorist act by the President of America. So they're in big trouble if anything happens. So they're scared of losing more money. So it's really just a legal thing, I think.
Right. So as of now, and you did mention briefly about the possibility of maybe some fans were actually wanting to see the film perhaps by the VOD release, but that's scrapped as well. So there's no way that we can actually get a glimpse of that movie so far.
It's really hard to say. A few people have seen it. It already screened for the press in America, but that was just a few days before the film was actually canceled. So I don't know if we're going to see it. I mean, they've now canceled plans of a worldwide release. Now, of course, prior to America, there were already no plans for release in South Korea, which is hardly surprising. But to yesterday, they did actually release a new promo for the film, which is kind of strange and indicates
Sony released a promo.
They did. It's a little kind of teaser online, and it's interesting why they did that. Maybe it's kind of, you know, kind of holding hope alive. So we'll see if things calm down after a while, what the reaction from the government is. But I think at some point we'll get a chance to see the film. But it's hard to know how and when that'll happen, when that'll be.
Just not now is the answer.
No, not now.
All right. Thank you very much, Pierce, for your insights today.
My pleasure.